Hello, welcome to a new channel. So this is the first video which is about Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin and what can we learn about it? So firstly, I want to describe the channel. This channel is strictly Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is not crypto. Crypto is a world of 20-odd thousand securities. And if you've watched any of the Michael Saylor videos, you'll have heard him talk extensively about securities and how the SEC in the United States will be categorizing all of those securities as securities and Bitcoin as digital property. So again, I'm new to Bitcoin. Just a bit of background. I've been researching and, as they say, getting skin in the game with Bitcoin since October 2021. Correct, yes. 2021, last year. And what I learned was, in America it's called DCA. In the UK you'd call it PCA, pound cost averaging or dollar cost averaging. And with hindsight, I made two very good decisions. One decision that I made was to not invest all at once. So I had some money put aside, and what I did was I gradually, week by week, bought a bit more Bitcoin each time. Had I bought it all at once, I'd now be sitting on probably a 60-70% loss. As it is, I'm not that far off breaking even, which is promising, and it also means that I am not stressing about losing money, or even if it's a paper loss, I'm in a much better frame of mind going forward. So this channel, as I say, is strictly about Bitcoin. And what I'm going to cover each video is something of interest to look out for if you're new to Bitcoin. I'll be starting from first principles. So each time we'll just have a little bit of a recap on what is Bitcoin. I'll explain it as I understand it, and then I'll point to some resources, some videos, some books to read. So just to give you a flavour of what we will be looking at, I want to just mention a couple of people and a couple of books that you might want to just start considering. And if I'd been looking at buying Bitcoin 1 or 2 years ago, I probably would not have been saying the things that I'm now saying, but that's the whole benefit of having a channel or videos regularly updated. If I'd been looking to buy Bitcoin in 2017, 2018, I probably would have been listening mainly to the Kaiser report on RT, and I probably would have been, I don't know what I would have read, but let's just cut to the chase. Some good books to read if you're thinking about getting into Bitcoin. It's all new to you. The Bitcoin Standard. So again, if you already know about this, then I apologize, and we'll move on to other things in future videos. But for today, let's just cover the Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean Ammous. So I'm not going to just run through a whole list of books, but just this one to get you started. And also, what you may need to do before you read about Bitcoin is you might actually just need to recap on your understanding of money. And if you've not come across Robert Breedlove, What is Money Show, then some of those videos are quite long and quite in-depth. But if you go back, you may find one where he basically just does a breakdown of what is money, and it's fungible. It is, there's 5 things which money needs to be: durable, fungible, durable. I can't remember all the others off the top of my head, but that's why you need to watch that video. So yeah, Robert Breedlove, What is Money? The Creature from Jekyll Island. No, that is written by, I believe it's Edward Griffin, and it basically chronicles the start of the Federal Reserve, and it traces it from there through to up until kind of 1970s, especially. If you are not au fait with what happened on August 16th, 1971, then that is a good thing to read about, because it is when Nixon closed the gold window and he basically did a bit of a bad thing, which has led to what many people say is all of our current problems. This just allows money printing without the money being backed by anything. There's more to it than that. Obviously, it involves treasury bonds and issuing of credit by the Federal Reserve and liabilities and assets and so on. So, yeah, that will do for now. If this is something which may be of interest, then keep watching and click the bell notification, because coming up in future videos, we'll be looking at other channels. Maybe we'll be going back over some of the things that Michael Saylor has said, because he actually understands very well the differences between, I think, one of the most important things that Michael Saylor ever says, and obviously he's become a bit of a spokesman for Bitcoin. And one of the most important things which he does say is that Bitcoin is unique because it's not treated as a security. And I'm going to research this. I'll do a future video on it. But for now, if you're interested, just read about the differences between Bitcoin and crypto, because I think that is the most important thing that you can learn and read about, because obviously money is a store of your time and your energy that you've invested from your life, and obviously that is finite. So why would you want to invest the work of your life and the energy of your life into something that can be printed? So yeah, Bitcoin, 21 million, that's all there'll ever be, and some of those have been lost. Some of those were kept by Satoshi, and if you don't know who Satoshi is, then that's probably a good thing to Google. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here, and in the next video we will start looking at some more books, and I'll actually do you a nice list of channels to potentially start looking at and watching and subscribing to as a beginner. And I hope this channel is going to be successful really for people outside of the US, and obviously people in the United States are doing brilliant things. Corey Clipston with Swan Bitcoin. It was from watching Corey really that it really sank home that Bitcoin is unique. Don't keep your Bitcoin on exchanges. In a future video, we'll talk about exchanges. Not your Bitcoin if it's not on your private, if it's not on your key. So we'll look at keys. Personally, I've got a ledger, but I bought that a while ago, and I have read other people recommend not to get a ledger because the source code is not. It's not open sourced, and one day there could be sort of backdoors or various things in it which haven't been, let's say, made transparent. But anyway, that's going off onto a tangent. So yeah, in future videos we'll be looking at other channels, books to read, and we will then be looking at some of the basics of Bitcoin. And as ever, we'll be focusing on why Bitcoin is different. Why is Bitcoin different to all the other cryptos? And I'm not going to ever say that Bitcoin is a crypto. Crypto for me is basically a shitcoin, and if you don't know what a shitcoin is, we'll cover that in the next video. So thanks for watching.